Coach Rudy Garcia made the fearless decision to bench the remaining stars of his country's famed golden generation in favor of younger legs. That tactical shift produced a fluid, high-energy rebuild that systematically dismantled the United States 4-1 in the round of 16. Curious, analytical town. Winning this quarterfinal requires winning 3 isolated tactical duels, where one mistake triggers a total defensive collapse. This map shows Rodri's central midfield territory. He anchors the formation and dictates Spain's tempo. His challenger, Hans Vanaken, uses his large frame to shield the ball, making delayed runs to drag Rodri out of position and expose the space behind. But Belgium has a major complication. With midfielder Amadou Onana out of the tournament due to an ACL injury, Yuri Tielemans is left to defend the pocket, the dangerous space between the midfield and defensive lines, against Spain's Dani Olmo. Whoever wins this central engine room dictates the match. When this zone fails, a team's own possession becomes their greatest vulnerability. Out on the wings, Spain relies on Lamine Yamal to create chaos. Even while managing a groin issue, Yamal's objective is to isolate opposition fullbacks and freeze them with quick footwork. This heat map illustrates the tactical game of chicken Yamal plays against Belgium's Maxime de Cooper. If de Cooper attacks, Yamal must exhaust himself tracking back to defend. If Yamal pins de Cooper deep, Belgium loses their primary wide outlet. On the opposite side, Belgium's Leandro Trossard employs a different strategy, drifting off the wing to operate inside the tight half spaces between defenders. That inside movement forces Spanish right-back Pedro Porro into a constant guessing game, testing his recovery pace and decision to follow Trossard inside or hold the sideline. These wide battles act as pressure valves. A breakthrough on the flank forces the entire opposing defensive structure to collapse inward. Closer to the goal, the spotlight falls on 19-year-old Pau Cubarsí. His elite reading of the game is why Spain hasn't conceded a goal. Cubarsí's main assignment is Charles de Ketelaere, who operates as a false 9, a center forward who refuses to play like a traditional striker. Here we see the mechanics of that role. De Ketelaere drops deep into the midfield gap. This forces Cubarsí into a dilemma: step up and leave a massive defensive gap, or hold the line and let him create freely. At this level of the sport, a single mistake in reading that trap is enough to shatter Spain's perfect defensive record. These starting micro-battles are designed to neutralize each other, often grinding the game into a tense tactical stalemate. But knockout football is a 16-man war of attrition. The outcome frequently hinges on the players waiting on the bench. Exhausted Spanish defenders must eventually contend with Kevin De Bruyne, a playmaker capable of identifying and exploiting a defensive gap in a fraction of a second. Alongside him is Romelu Lukaku, a physical presence who already has 3 tournament goals off the bench. Spain possesses their own impact substitutes. Players like Mikel Merino thrive in the late-game chaos and can exploit the gaps left by a fatigued Belgian squad. Then there is the final uncontrollable variable managing the board: referee Michael Oliver. This chart shows Michael Oliver's officiating metrics for the tournament. While he has handed out 13 yellow cards, he has issued 0 red cards and 0 penalties. Success in this knockout tie goes to the team that endures physical attrition and maintains the clinical edge to finish when the board inevitably flips.
Thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to follow Footmania India on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Bye!